16 tries, only one top 5 finish for our champion, Matt Crafton. Can he hang on? He's got a big lead.
Don't get out too far.
The final lap, Crafton in the 88 in front.
Johnny Sauter
inside, it's 3 wide.
Making that hole.
Forced his way to the middle.
Middle of 3. You're middle of 3. Come on, 13. You got a guy coming to you. Not over. Keep digging.
They're crashing. Rose into
Keep
Crafton.
digging. Damn.
Crafton up and over.
And Kaz Gralla, looks to me like, will win this race.
Huge crash at the end on the final lap. And Kaz Gralla, the youngest driver in the field, the youngest driver to win a pole award in NASCAR's Touring Series history.
We'll have to wait and see NASCAR, but he sure looked like he was the one that emerged with a lead.
The first across the finish line under the checkers and the yellow flag.
Austin Wayne Self trailed Gralla across the start-finish line. That team's confident about what they've accomplished. We'll get the official moment of caution from NASCAR.
Yeah, amazing job, regardless, for Jerry Baxter, Kaz Gralla, and that GMS team.
Well, and Gralla dropped back to the back part of the top 5 on that restart, but patiently stayed in line, was off the track down in turn 3, was able to keep his truck headed straight.
Great to see Matt Crafton out of the vehicle.
Vince, you're right. Great to see him out. It was a heck of a ride for Matt.
Up in the air and upside down. And just to reiterate, there's Timothy Peters walking to the ambulance. Mandatory trip to the care center. And it's official. Kaz Gralla is the winner. The youngest driver to win at Daytona in NASCAR National Touring Series history. Kaz Gralla, 18 years old, wins the season opener.
That's awesome. What a great young man.
Great family.
Had the pleasure of getting to know Kaz and his father Darius. And like I said, a lot of fathers and sons go off to the golf course. Those two go off racing. He raced here in Daytona.
See Johnny Sauter getting in the ambulance. Good to see Johnny out. There's some hard hits back there on the backstretch, guys.
Gralla looking forward to getting that checkered flag, and he's going to, maybe not the way he envisioned getting his first win with the big crash going on behind him, but he will celebrate it with his team.
I like
Chief Jerry Baxter.
I like a little bit of smoked salmon with my olive oil. He's smoking them up there, isn't he?
We talked about youth versus experience. Experience always seems to win out here. Not tonight, guys.
No one younger has ever done what Kaz Gralla just accomplished.
There's Grant Enfinger climbing in to the ambulance.
NASCAR obviously has a lot of sorting out to do before we know the official finish. Let's look back and see. No surprise to me that exiting the corners when the trouble happened. It just was a very aggressive push.
Yeah, it looked like Grant Enfinger was trying to help. Ooh, look at Matt Crafton up and over.
There's Johnny Sauter up in the middle of the mess. Grant Enfinger was pushing right there when the track flattens out.
Yep.
Around goes the 27, catches Crafton, who thought he was home free.
Exactly in that spot where you said you didn't want to be pushed, where the track changes a little bit of that elevation.
It's nearly impossible to do it cleanly, and this is just way too much right here. Enfinger would have been much better off just to tap his partner, tap his buddy past Crafton, but he got too aggressive. It's the last lap, you understand that. But look at the impact by Timothy Peters. And look at Gralla just sneaking through that hole.
Right through the middle. And how about Austin Wayne Self right behind him? Chase Briscoe as well as Crafton goes up and over. Wow.
30-some hundred pounds of race vehicle just floating around like a feather. That tells you how fast these guys are going and how crazy things get at the end. He's still not on the ground.
Watch it all from the 24 of Scott Legacy.
Leap, bump it, stack it, stack it, stack it. Keep rolling outside, bottom three, close the door at the bottom. Get down, get down. Hey, truck, watch it spin, keep rolling, watch it spin, get through it.
How crazy was that view of Crafton over there? We're going to see that again. Now look, he comes out.
Work back all the way back. Still 3 with help. Still 3 with help.
Oh.
Reckon. Hang on to
Timothy
it there.
never even had time to back off, guys.
now from Christopher Bell.
Three mid. Easy, come middle. Keep coming middle. Keep coming middle.
That looks straight out of the movies.
Yeah,
I mean, you couldn't believe that truck could fly over like that.
It's just amazing pictures.
Awesome camera work, guys. This is beautiful. I mean, it's terrible, but it's...
Scott Lagasse. Watch Matt Crafton over there. Completely up in the air.
Unbelievable. So thankful that everybody's okay.
We saw Crafton in that truck, the yellow 88, walk away from this mess.
Look at it land on the 21 of Johnny Sauter.
Scott Lagasse.
There's Myatt Snyder, the 51.
You see Lagasse, he's one of the first trucks to clear, so he's going to get a decent finish out of this. Be interesting to see how NASCAR scores them after that big mess on the back.
Some of them on the hook. This one's on the truck as the winner, Kaz Grala at Daytona.
The final couple laps to restart, then you fall back and you barely worked your way through that wreck.
My radio cord came out on lap 79, so I drove almost to the end of the race with no radio. Oh my God, someone flipped. I drove almost the rest of the race without a radio on, and barely for the green-white checkered I got a radio on. And honestly, I got lucky coming out of 2 there. I just didn't lift, and luckily everything went crazy around me. Hope everybody's all right there, but oh, I'm so happy with the way that played out. I can't even believe it.
And you mentioned this changes your season. How?
Well, I mean, we can do a lot of R&D here going forward. I mean, I've never been on a 1.5 miles in my life, so I'm looking forward to not having the pressure to win. Of course, we'd like to get more wins, as many as we can, and especially to lock ourselves in for sure. We'd like another one, but right now, I mean, there's no better way to start the season. On the pole, won the race. You can't have a better day than we had here in Daytona. I'm so...
Incident. Caitlin's with Johnny Sauter.
Yeah, Vince, he's just been released from the medical center. Johnny, walk me through what you experienced from your perspective.
Well, you know, when it's calm like that the whole race, you don't really know what to expect at the end. And, you know, I was watching on that restart, and 88 was getting, you know, he was laying way back, and you know, probably more than I thought was allowed. But regardless of that, you know, we tried to play the team strategy like we had been doing all night long. And I looked down in my mirror when I pulled to the bottom, and my teammate was way back, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble here. And the outside line, it looked like they were hooked together and had a hell of a run coming. And so, needless to say, I went up to block the 88, and not really sure. I thought once I went up to block them that I would unlatch those two and you know, get back to the bottom, and I screwed up. So I got to go back and watch, see what I could have done different, obviously. But what a dominant truck. You know, I can't thank everybody at Allegiant enough, and everybody at GMS, Hendrick Motors, Chevrolet. Man, what a great truck. There's probably some things I could have did different, and I'll study it.
Thank you, Johnny.
Well, that's
Johnny Sauter
these
led
racers,
the most laps 3 times and ends up 15th.
they just constantly watch tape and see what they could have done differently. I think it's unfair for Johnny to say he made a mistake until he watches the video.
Yeah.
There might have been nothing that he could do, but he's certainly willing and wants to learn from whatever happened. I know when he made that move to the top to block the run that Crafton had, that was the right move to make.
And the good news, Crafton and Timothy Peters also released from the medical center. College